if you could, share this dream, because we're going to talk about something really crazy here in hour two, which is the higher probability that the deep state may have tried to infect the entire White House to pull off yet another coup. And we have a former Secret Service, former Department of Homeland Security expert here who's going to talk to us, Charles Marino, about the likelihood of that. And you gotta hear from this guy, because I wouldn't be shocked. It's no coincidence that only Republicans are being infected at the highest levels of our government. How come no Democrats are being affected? I wonder. We'll get into that with Charles Marino. Now, we talked a little earlier with Joe Pinion about how Trump is making great advances in minority communities. And he has, his rallies are showing between 10 and 20% of the people there are Democrats. They're turning over to Trump. And a bunch of Democrats got together at the Walk Away rally with my buddy Brandon Straka, who was here on Liquid Lunch many times, represented by my buddy Manny Alejandro. And the Walk Away movement is convincing people to walk away from the Democratic Party. And they had quite the Walk Away rally down in D.C. Take a look at this. Record numbers of Democrats are turning out at Trump rallies. You got Democrats walking on Washington, walking away from their party. And lo and behold, at the debate, Joe Biden made it very clear, this is my party now. This is the Joe Biden party. And I'm not for the Green New Deal. So all you Bernie supporters who are, yeah, we're with Joe, just know he's not with you. He's not putting the Green New Deal and climate change on the top of his agenda. The top of his agenda is defund the police, raise your taxes. That's what Joe Biden said he's all about. Okay. Now Antoine Tucker is a guy we've had on the show before. I think Antoine is a candidate for New York State Assembly, but he had some choice words for these folks who are out there wishing death by COVID on our president. Let's take a look at what Antoine Tucker had to say about these haters.
The President of the United States of America. There's been people praying for your downfall for a long time, brother. But the reason why they haven't been successful is because they don't pray to God. You can't pray to God with hate. God has chosen you for a reason to run. God has chosen you because you are strong enough, devoted enough, and honest enough. God chose to make you the leader of the free world. God chose you to be anointed. So there is nothing that these people can do that will stop you. And those that have a faith, whether it be Christian, Islamic, it doesn't matter. Every last one of them knows that hate does not get you entry into God's kingdom. You have the largest movement in human history. You have the largest army in human history. And you have an army of people praying for you. You're going to pull through this. We're going to pull through this. In 2020, we're going to get this by a landslide. God bless you, Mr. President.
You know, Antoine Tucker, he's surprising because the guy is always on the money. And with a guy like that, you can't judge a book by a cover. You can't just look at the guy and think he's going to be one way, because this guy is about as good a political commentator as I've seen. And he says it like a regular guy, like I do. That's what I like about Antoine. That's why we had him on the show. And we'll have him on again, hopefully. But all you people who are wishing death on the president, I think Antoine said it best. You can't pray to God to hate someone else. And you can't go to God with hate and ask him to use his immense powers to hate someone else. It just doesn't work that way. You got to go to God with your heart open, and you got to talk to Jesus with love. And hate ain't going to get you nowhere. Hate is going to hate. The hate is going to hate. Speaking about haters, yesterday in the New York Giant game, I'm becoming a Giant hater because I'm a Giant fan and I hate watching them. They're absolutely disgusting to watch. It's horrifying. They're at 0-4, okay? But for my sports fans out there, now these privileged African-American millionaire athletes are having the privilege of getting paid millions of dollars to play in a stadium that's empty. They're awful players because they don't thank God for what they have. They actually use this platform that they have to make a mockery of the sport overall by waving Black Lives Matter flags and kneeling on our patriotism and all this other stuff. But, you know, at the end of the game, Jalen Ramsey from Los Angeles Rams, big mouth extraordinaire, and Golden Tate got into it. Take a look at this. And what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What happens? Why do two millionaires start swinging at each other at the end of the game? Backstory, NFL professional players. Jalen Ramsey has 2 kids with Golden Tate's sister. And apparently he left the sister while she was pregnant with the 3rd kid for a Las Vegas stripper. So I would imagine that Jalen Ramsey is kind of ticked off, and I guess Golden Tate was going to take it. We ain't going to take it. We're going to keep fighting right after this.